Brothers and sisters, I am your brother Essa Bokarr. Our theme today, as I said in the beginning, is one of the most important, and it is definitely a cause for concern because it is the virus that remains to destroy Africa, that remains to divide us, to facilitate it for any party, culture, or political elite within and outside to continue exploiting us. We have to defy that. Tribalism does not exist. It is a concept. When I say it does not exist, I mean in a concrete form. It is not an object. It is a subject we talk about. It is a concept. Therefore, it is not here to be taught and felt. In fact, scientifically speaking, I always keep saying this, politics is not a game. Politics is science. And science means basically observation and derivation of facts. Now let's use science to rebut the position of any person who entertains the feeling of tribalism within him or herself. Now, no DNA can ever find it anywhere, or you can never find any DNA anywhere that categorizes us into different ethnic groups. Well, we understand along racial lines, maybe one can argue it out. When diseases are being studied, we can say the DNA of the black, the DNA of the white, the DNA of this or the race, Chinese and all that. And that is not meant to cause social difference. In fact, that is meant to bring cohesion because it will allow us to study what kind of disease affects this race at this certain age, and how are we going to study to cure it. It is the same reason why people get pills when they travel back to Africa after staying away for so many years. Then their immune system is no longer able to fight malaria back. So if you stretch it further down the line, even along racial lines, DNA does not exist when you put it into another concept. What I mean here is that the DNA that will cause difference, the DNA that will cause division and wars and hatred, that's what I mean. Now, we understand DNA for blacks, DNA for whites, for family ties. We understand that. And the people who studied that did not study it to cause social difference. It is a scientific fact used to help us to cure diseases or to follow, trace, track criminals, period. So the purpose of DNA is a good one. But DNA disqualifies tribalism and ethnocentric feelings. Yes. It does not exist within a scientific context and concept. Tribalism and ethnocentric feelings are nothing other than a toxic concept or perception fermented by difference mushrooming from politics and a culture created by so-called elites. This concept has transformed itself into an abstract drug, and it is continuing to destroy Africa as a virus. Let me further stretch it down to this point. Babies cry the same way. When a new baby is born in a hospital or a clinic in Gambia, I wish people could conduct that research, record the way a baby cries in Gambia, a black baby, record the way a baby cries in the Middle East, an Arab baby, a Chinese baby, a white baby, and then a Spanish baby. All these, you bring them and put them on a CD and rotate it around the world. You will realize that you cannot make the difference between the way babies cry. This reminds me of a Nigerian intellectual who traveled through an airport in Europe some time ago was given a form to fill. They said race, he put human. I wish we could do the same in Gambia. Fill the form. If you are asked about ethnic group, just put Gambian. That's it. Now, another way to show us that we are the ones who ferment these differences within our minds is this. The smell of a dead body or the odor is the same. Be you Mandinka, be you Fula, be you Sarahule, be you Manjago, be you Papel, be you Jola, be you any other tribe, not to exclude Syrians and others. Now, when diseases and calamities come, they do not identify with any ethnic group and go and crush that ethnic group. Diseases and calamities do affect humanity, not along racial lines or tribal lines. No. And let me finally tell this to each one of us, beginning with myself, is that Allah does not make mistakes. Anything He creates has a reason. Now, our duty should have been to find out the good embedded in those languages or those dialects, instead of finding out the difference. The difference doesn't exist. Just turn around and look at the person standing before you before they speak or talk. The other day, I communicated with a Gambian. I'll mention his name here. He's a brother. His name is Sirifo Sane in Paris. Sirifo is Mandinka by descent, and he's a great-great-grandson of the Kabu kings like Mama Janke Wali. Sirifo is from Jimara. Now, Sirifo told me proverbs in Fulani that I don't know, and I was not shocked or surprised, but I reconfirmed many things I believed in as a child who was growing within the Gambia. He speaks Fulani more than I do, or equally as I do. How many others do you have like that in the Gambia? I'm not going to use the politicians as an example. This is a Gambian who is not on the public arena. It's a man I came across. He has been listening to me over the years. He called me and spoke and nearly cried. One time I was on the radio with Brother Bankamane. An elderly person called. I wish I could have his number again. He cried. You all heard him. He was praying for me. That man was a Mandinka. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. It's your brother Essa Bokarr.